What is a controversial trait you find attractive in your significant other? He's bad at dirty talk. I don't know why. But him being bad at it is actually a turn-on for me. Oh my God. I told my husband I wanted him to tell me I was a good girl. Like ideally this is something you say when someone is choking on your stick, or you are ending in their base while you slap their face. Or they are otherwise having kind of a fun, bad time on your behalf. Super hot. But instead, because he's so beautifully and adorably bad at dirty talk, he waits until we are making sweet, tender romantic love, and he suddenly asks me if I'm a good girl. Takes me completely out of the moment. Because I'm like, what? Did you say something? I guess I'm a good girl. And he goes, okay. Excuse me, ma'am, but I'm conducting a survey on behalf of Santa Claus. Would you describe yourself as a good girl? The old doing a survey for Santa roleplay gets me every time. I don't know if this is controversial, but I kind of love it when she gets jealous. Not horribly jealous, but just a little. Like we're at a party, I'm having a perfectly normal conversation with an attractive woman, and I see my girlfriend out of the corner of my eye, and she's looking like she wants to fight this girl. It's flattering. No one's ever treated me like I'm that desirable before. It always makes me want to kiss her till she knows I'm not remotely interested in anyone but her. My girlfriend will hold a pleasant conversation, but when we leave, she'll go, "I'll kill that woman." It's a weird thing to hear, but when it's coming from a 5-foot-tall, 120-pound lady, it just becomes adorable. Like, yeah baby, get her ass, defend my honor. My husband has an ability to be quite stubborn. This comes in handy with boundaries. He cannot be worn down, coerced, pressured, or blackmailed. Anything he does or says is 100% him with his whole chest. He is the definition of, if he wanted to, he would. Because he doesn't do anything unless he wants to. Our relationship works because he isn't lazy about it. He has chores he likes done a certain way. So, he does all those himself unprompted. I guess what I'm saying is it's nice to have a partner where I never feel like I guilt him into anything. He does everything he does because he genuinely wants to do it. I call my husband hard as nails. When I'm trying to explain this, sometimes it's so frustrating. But I would 100% rather hard truths than kind lies. Especially from the one person closest to me. I'm a super sensitive person. So it was a big adjustment for me to get used to. But I'm so glad I did. It helped me realize my own people-pleasing tendencies, and helped me build up my own backbone. Him having boundaries and enforcing them is hot. And him letting me push his boundaries in private is hot. Because I know how much trust he has in me. How to get over the part where it hurts your feelings. Tutorial please. Geez, I want to give you a good answer and I started thinking and already feel overwhelmed. I think a big part of the issue for me is wanting to feel in control over my own self-image and how I'm perceived. And that being really important to me. I don't want to be seen as anything less than spectacular and special and perfect. But I know for a fact that I'm just a normal human being. It's taken me a lot of personal work in little moments all the time to become okay with my husband seeing my flaws. And not being embarrassed by them. Why should it hurt my feelings when he's blunt? If I know what he's saying is true, and he's not saying it to be unkind or hurtful. I am capable of overreacting when my emotions are high. I am capable of not thinking before I speak and saying something unkind. I am capable of acting selfishly or without considerations for others around me. None of these things makes me a bad person. None of these things make me a bad partner. And none of these things make my husband love me any less. When I am behaving in a way that isn't healthy, or true to who I want to be at my best. Having someone I trust to call that out has helped me mature so much. As for the getting over it part, I think that came with time. It took being in situations over and over and over again, where I looked less than perfect, and he still loved me and respected me for me to realize that my worth wasn't dependent on what I thought it was. There are still times where I will tell him, I'm not in the mood to be teased. Or, I need you to show me love and affection right now and not critique me. And he does what I ask, because he knows that I know that I'm being sensitive, and that it might take some time for me to work through. It's a trust that has grown between us, that he would never think of me as less, so I can be vulnerable and honest with who I am with him. Wrapping up, I think I was much more insecure when we met than I thought at the time. Looking back now, I wanted so badly to be seen and loved, but I wanted to control how I was seen and how that love looked. I did try at the beginning to control the narrative, and he's so freaking stubborn that he wouldn't let me. I know now that I was trying to cover my own faults and deflect responsibility or blame from myself. But letting go of that and realizing that I'm allowed to be imperfect and still worthy of my partner's respect really changed me for the better. We both work at it every day and have to be super vocal about our thoughts, needs, and expectations. You're allowed to have your feelings hurt, and they can still be right in calling you out, and you can let them love and comfort you through that painful feeling. Same. I've dated men in the past who I feel like as soon as they realized they liked me, started lying to me to make them like them. Sometimes outright regurgitating opinions I'd told them in the past. As much as I initially liked them, this grosses me out. My husband, however, will in no uncertain terms tell me he disagrees with me, or pitch a fit if he doesn't want to do something. He's genuine, and that's probably one of my favorite aspects of him. I like it when someone's voice is a little hoarse. Like, I can know a person for years with no attraction, and then they get a sore throat or a cold, and I'm like, well, hello. I love when I'm getting over a cold or lose my voice. And a couple days later, I get my sexy rasp voice. Apparently, with my already relatively deep voice, for a woman, the rasp takes it over the top. Or so I've been told. My wife is very, very emotional. Not in a crazy, bunny boiling sort of way. More like she feels her emotions stronger than most. In that way, I feel she is transparent and genuine. She is the most honest person I know. And these qualities, among so many others, are why I'm lucky to have been with these nearly 40 years. Sounds like my wife. So many times, she's crying on behalf of someone or something that has nothing to do with her. So empathetic, when other people are sad, she feels it and gets sad. It's wild with me being a damn stone block caveman sometimes. He's shorter than me by about an inch. And when I wear heels, I tower over him. Many men would see this as a sin worthy of death. Both being shorter than 6 feet, and having a woman taller than you. I love it though, partially because we're goth. So, I just feel like Gomez and Morticia. But also because he has never let it bother him for a moment. He owns his height, and is my personal hype man every time we get dressed up and I wear my heels. The idea that tall women are somehow unattractive is one of the greatest nonsenses pushed by boring people. I love tall women. I love shorter women too. I think I might just love women, but feeling smaller or loomed over is a plus plus.